Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, a tale unfolded, pitting the fierce predator against the indomitable Wolverine. This was the #1 issue, a story that promised thrills and excitement beyond imagination. The narrative was clear, a showdown between Predator and Wolverine with plenty more in store. This tale, crafted by the skilled Benjaminpercy, would take us on a journey through Logan's life, beginning in the early 1900s. Two formidable warriors were destined to collide, and the question loomed large. Who was the mightier of the two? Who would emerge victorious in this epic battle? Could the Predator prove strong enough to defeat Wolverine? So subscribe to this channel, like this video, and let us delve into the story. Our story commences in the frozen landscapes of Alaska in the early 1900s. Logan found himself deep within the snow-covered woods, having hunted beavers for their pelts to ward off the biting cold. This was a harsh and lawless land where Logan felt truly free. However, a sudden arrival disrupted the tranquility. A spaceship touched down, and from it emerged the formidable Predator. The Predator employed its scanning technology to locate a fellow predator frozen in ice with spears and arrows lodged in its body. The local inhabitants were the culprits, and the Predator embarked on a relentless pursuit. Meanwhile, Logan ventured into a nearby town to find some spirits as a looming storm threatened. He entered a rough-and-tumble bar typically frequented by lumberjacks, trappers, and miners, coming only for supplies or alcohol. Trouble brewed when a group of men attempted to rob him of his valuable possessions. Logan, without hesitation, initiated a brutal brawl, vanquishing them. One of the men who had initially sought to bribe him now begged Logan for help. His son had been kidnapped, and Logan agreed to lend his aid. As all this transpired, the Predator hunted animals in the mountains, dispatching anything it deemed a serious prey, from mountain goats to cougars and even whales. Upon its return to its base, it spotted smoke in the sky, leading it to Logan's village. The Predator stealthily entered the village, unseen by the locals. Logan and the man seeking his assistance prepared to embark on their journey to find the kidnapped child. However, as they approached the woods, they discovered human and animal corpses hanging from trees. Logan seethed with anger, for these locals were the only people he'd ever considered friends, teaching him to coexist harmoniously with nature. They lived in harmony with the land, while others only came to despoil it. They finally reached the cabin they sought. Logan entered and defeated the 4 men inside. But then he was shot from behind by the man who had hired him. He had paid Logan for assistance, but when their plan changed, he abandoned Logan and attempted to flee. However, as he stepped outside, the man's head exploded and the Predator revealed itself. The Predator entered the cabin and began scanning everyone inside. Logan swiftly attacked the Predator, inflicting a wound that caused the Predator to remove its mask. Logan prepared for a final assault, but the Predator unsheathed its spear and tore through one of Logan's claws. In agony, the Predator impaled Logan in the abdomen with its spear, commencing the healing process. Logan, too, struggled to mend his wounds. As Logan attempted to flee, the Predator pursued him. Logan knew he had to find a safer place to think. This led us to Logan's cave, and as he prepared to enter, the Predator appeared before him, blocking his path. Unbeknownst to the Predator, there was a massive bear guarding Logan's cave. The bear attacked the Predator, and they engaged in a fierce battle. Logan seized the opportunity to escape, leaving the scene. As Logan departed, the Predator emerged from the cave, bearing the bear's head. This was only their first encounter, the opening chapter of a long and arduous hunt that would span their lives. We then turned to South America, many years ago. At this point in Wolverine's life, there are many things he can remember, but some memories have faded due to the mind wipes and training he endured under Professor Thornton's control. He, along with Team X members Sabretooth, Jackson, Creed, and Maverick, arrives in South America with a mission. Their intel suggests a guerrilla force planning a coup, led by a former general stockpiling weapons and gaining support in the jungle. they arrive, they find a gruesome scene with skinned corpses hanging from trees. This triggers a lost memory in Wolverine's mind, a recollection of a previous encounter with the Yorkshire, or predators. This time, the Yorkshire have brought reinforcements, and Team X sees 5 predators uncloak in the trees, ready to hunt them down. This sets the stage for the upcoming battle between Wolverine, Team X and the Predators, and it's the end of this issue. As we step into this comic, we find ourselves in the present day, with Wolverine having battled the Predator and sustaining severe injuries. He needs a safe place to recover, where his healing factor can work, fully aware that more pain awaits him outside, whether it's falling off a cliff or the relentless Predator still hunting him. Logan could sense the unwavering determination of the creature that had pursued him for years. The Predator was equally impatient. Wolverine had crossed paths with the Predator multiple times before and trusted his instincts. The Predator had relocated, or so Logan hoped as he descended from the cliff into the river below. However, falling rocks pinned him to the ground. He struggled to free himself as his lungs filled with frigid black water. Eventually, the Predator leaped into the water alongside him, and Logan felt this might be the end. The story then shifts to South America some years ago, where Team X arrived at a location they believed was to assassinate a politician, seize an oil platform, and dismantle a cartel. They did not anticipate the presence of the Predators, and they found themselves facing 4 Predators against the 5 members of Team X. Wolverine, like the other Team X members, had his memories regularly wiped. However, he always carried a Predator weapon around his neck as a painful reminder of his past, without knowing its origins. As the Predators closed in, Logan drew the weapon and threw it at the Predators, decapitating one before it returned to the Predator's hand. Logan ordered Creed, Maverick, and Jackson to retreat. The Predator turned invisible, while Sabretooth, armed with his machine gun, advanced and fired in all directions. Sabretooth asked if the creature was dead or just hiding. As he moved closer to Sabretooth from behind and thrust his spear, Sabretooth turned and impaled the Predator with the spear. Maverick reported that Creed was dead, but he had killed one Predator. Team X was on the move, swiftly dashing towards a safer haven. It was during this perilous journey that a cunning Predator, with a lasso around its hand, snatched Jackson by the neck, leading to her swift and unfortunate decapitation. Wolverine and Maverick, brave souls they were, responded by unleashing a volley of gunfire in all directions, which triggered a massive explosion. The explosion propelled them backward, leaving Maverick unable to walk, while Wolverine, with unwavering determination, rose to his feet. As the dust settled, an invisible Predator materialized behind Wolverine, emerging from its camouflage. In the blink of an eye, Maverick saw an opportunity and fired 4 rounds at the unseen foe. With the Predator vanquished, Maverick was scooped up by the ever-resilient Wolverine. Together, they made a hasty escape to a place of safety. But the story doesn't end here, for the other Predators were not far behind, lurking in the shadows, ready for their next move. When Wolverine and Maverick entered a building, they found weapons. It was an armory, possibly used by a general preparing for war. The general and his troops had hidden inside the temple. The general knew why Wolverine was there, and they had to unite against the threat outside, without knowing what or why they were there. The general realized that the creatures outside posed a greater threat than Wolverine, so they had to stand together. Wolverine agreed because there was no other choice. The story then jumps forward a few hours. The general's forces stood guard with weapons pointed at the entrance, ready to face whatever emerged. Suddenly, one of the soldiers exploded, and the warriors began firing. 2 Predators emerged with shields and discarded the shields to engage the soldiers. The Predator's shoulder cannon was used to seek and destroy targets. However, as they entered the building, they found it nearly empty, except for the guards at the front. What surprised them was that the building had been rigged with explosives by Wolverine to take out the Predators. Everyone believed that all were dead, including the general. Logan informed everyone that the general was already dead and the creatures outside had also perished. However, a hand emerging from the rubble indicated otherwise. The story shifts to the X-Weapon facility in Alberta, Canada. Many years have passed since the events we've witnessed, and as time flowed like a river, new adventures unfolded. We bear witness to a most extraordinary and eerie turn of events. A group of valiant guards found themselves being picked off, one by one, like leaves in the wind. The cause of this dire situation was none other than a fearsome predator that had made its way to this very place. This cunning and relentless predator had a singular purpose in its heart: to track down the elusive Wolverine. It had tracked his scent and trails to this location like a relentless hunter on a never-ending quest. The predator, driven by a burning desire, infiltrated the heavily fortified facility. It shattered every door in its path, hacking through the defenses of every soldier who dared to stand in its way. The predator, undeterred, forged onward, determined to reach its prized prey, Wolverine. However, what the predator discovered upon finally encountering Wolverine was beyond its wildest expectations. Wolverine, the formidable adversary it had pursued for countless years, was not a free and fearsome warrior, but a captive subjected to ruthless experimentation. A subject of scientific study, the relentless hunter had become the helpless prey. And so, dear readers, this is where our story reaches its conclusion. It's a tale filled with unexpected twists and turns, where the tables have turned and the hunters have become the hunted. What lies ahead is a riddle wrapped in mystery. The only certainty is that the bond between Wolverine and the predator will be tested in a way that has never been seen before. We eagerly await your thoughts, theories, and musings in the comments. It's a story that leaves us wondering if this is the turning point where Wolverine's luck may finally run out, or will the predator grant him the opportunity to enhance himself, to attain the coveted adamantium skeleton, and level the playing field.